Hello YouTube, welcome to part 2 of the December year-end review for sociallyconstructed.online. This video is all about being present with myself, recognizing that the things I've done this year have completely changed my outlook on my career. I am sitting by a fire, I already drank my hot chocolate, I am ready to reflect. In part 1, which you'll find here in the info card, we focused primarily on looking back on the entire year of sociallyconstructed.online, and I focused primarily on my personal life design. What exactly did I want, and how exactly was I gonna get it? And I'd like to spend this video going over who I feel like I am as a community manager. But before we do that, I also want to say that this is part of a 3-part series. Part 1 is already out, and part 2 is all about being present with myself. But starting in January, there's going to be an entirely new 2023. So be sure to subscribe and ring that bell in order to get notified about what I'm going to be doing in the next year and how I plan on contributing to all of the amazing online communities that I've been a part of so far. So one of the things I want to be present about is what my personal and my business brand actually are. Over the course of 2022, I strongly felt a business brand about e-course content relies on the back of what the person teaching has done. That's just how e-courses work. Being able to sell content is almost directly related to being successful doing things the content is about. I think I want to spend a little bit of time being less formal and being more vulnerable. I struggled to talk to my mentors. I struggled to speak with Pablo about being able to create content and landing pages. Lori Goldman, an amazing mentor, told me time and time again, if I want to learn about investment opportunities, I need to be speaking to investors and choose to have those conversations, choose to be vulnerable, and choose to learn from others without Googling incessantly and reading books and documents and content. If I really wanted to learn from the community, I need to speak with the community. Another thing I want to be present with myself about is my propensity to view failures as a self-fulfilling prophecy for my future. Just because I have some events and people don't show up doesn't mean I shouldn't record a video about the event. It doesn't mean I shouldn't move forward and produce that content anyway. Just because a failing has occurred where a landing page kind of failed, by the way, that landing page is still active, please join my brand optimization workshop, doesn't mean that I need to throw out my entire website with the bathwater. I need to spend more time recognizing that my failures have very little to do with the successes of my future. They inform them and they are iterative plans, but I need to practice what I preach. I need to get good before I get better. I need to plan big, but take small progressive steps. I need to iterate and I need to spend more time emotionally accepting and working through a lot of the failures that happened and moved me away from the initial plan for sociallyconstructed.online. I also want to recognize in presence, I have an incredible set of friends now. I always give people advice whenever they want to start their community career. Find 3 people that you look up to, 3 people that you think are relatively on the same level who you can learn together with. Join their online communities, you will find success. And most crucially, it's not just enough to find 3 people who can learn with you and 3 mentors. If you want to be a giant, find someone else to stand on your shoulders. Find 3 people you think you can help, because the easiest way for you to learn anything is for you to teach it. Find a way to process the information in a way that other people can understand it, and it's never gonna leave your brain. And just like that, now you have an online community who you can learn with. And this is how I started my Discord channel, and it's still in that state. I'm still building people who are willing to learn with me iteratively and over time. This is also how I ended up in a bunch of online communities where I spent a fair amount of my time. Despite losing the thread on my own business, I feel really good about the people that I've surrounded myself with. And lastly, it's the holidays. So it's time for me to now reflect on how my business has impacted my personal life. A lot of my friends and family have worked really, really hard to support this wish of mine to create a new community in the middle of a recession with very, very little nesting egg. It was genuinely, when I started this in February, a terrible idea, but I went forward with it because I had a conviction, and the people most significant in my life believed in me, even if they were unsure it was going to be a good idea. And it's that family that I want to be very thankful for. I've learned so much about what success means to me. It doesn't mean money, but it does mean well-being and the permission to take a day off and dwell with those individuals, to be alone, to go on a motorcycle adventure for 2 weeks, to unplug, and to make sure that as a community manager, I'm not spending my entire time in a community where I am suffering online burnout. I am so much more stable mentally, physically, and emotionally, and I'm very happy about that. Having spent time here by this fire reflecting, I'm also going to look forward. What is my plan in 2023? How am I going to learn from my successes and my failures in 2022? And how am I going to adjust my life design and my business design to match what I've learned about myself here in the present? For that video, all about 2023's future, click up here in the notification. And if you want to see part 1, you can click here in order to access that. I would also love to hear in the comments, what were your successes and failures? Can you reflect as well? How have you grown? And what are you looking forward to in 2023? Super excited and happy that you were welcome to join me for this.